going down the hill, the turns are very easy. Like you can maneuver this bike quite a bit. How the color this? Okay. So far, so
what's up, y'all? So we received a moped style e-bike that goes 37 miles an hour. This bike has a 1000 watt motor with a 2000 watt peak. It has a 48 volt, 38 amp hour battery. That's because it came with one battery that's 20 amp hour, another battery that's 18 amp hours. Advertised to go up to 80 miles of charge. Bruh. But we're gonna test that out. And this bike is a HAPPYRUN G70. This is like my third bike from HAPPYRUN. They say this bike weighs like 96 pounds, but this box feels heavier than that, so maybe it's 96 pounds. Without the two batteries, I'm not sure. Maximum weight of the rider is 330 pounds. And this is like a cargo moped bike, so I think it comes with like a removable rear seat in case you wanna ride with a passenger. To purchase this e-bike, feel free to use my link and my code in the description below to get a discount. Also, I am doing an e-bike giveaway. If you want to be included in this giveaway, you have to be subscribed to the channel and comment below on what type of e-bike you would like. So what we're going to do is unbox this, go through all of the features, go on-road, go off-road, test out the speed, the range. And to help me unbox this bike, I have my fellow e-bike connoisseur and my brother Tayo with me.
Megan Thee Stallion.
Who really likes moped style e-bike.
Alright. Well, I was wrong. I don't know. So this is what the bike looks like fresh out the box. It was definitely packaged well, in my opinion. It came with a lot of foam around it. I do wish they did more to protect the front wheel, which looked kind of dingy. I mean, it looked folded up and everything. What happened? And I don't know what type of tire this is. I'm just seeing rotation on the side. I'm not sure the brand, but this is a 20 by 4 inch all-terrain tire, and definitely have some really good grip on it. Don't know about the durability. This is what the bike looks like without the wrapping. It doesn't look like anything was damaged, except the front wheel, of course.
Alone, man.
But looks like we're gonna have to install the handlebar, which is already attached via wires. We're gonna have to install our beefy headlight, and it looks like we have some footrests that we can put on the back of the bike to ride with a passenger. I think these are our turner signals. So usually HAPPYRUN will have turner signals, maybe like in the front and maybe even in the back. Came with two boxes. One box came with the bike. The other box here came separately. Let's see what's in this first box first. So it looks like we're gonna have to install our disc brake. I don't like doing that. I just think it just adds an extra step that's not really, y'all could have put that brake on, but let's see. Bike also came with a manual, so let's look into this manual. And look like you can use this QR code to also look at the assembly instructions. But the instructions seem pretty straightforward. Always love it when they have pictures. Some information about the warranty here. All right, look like it came with a bike lock. All right, look like we have to put our display on, our pedals, and the pedals are labeled. Key fobs has a certain level of anti-theft because you can use these cards in order to turn your display on. So I like this feature. This is our second charger, and I'm assuming two different chargers. One is for the 20 amp hour and one is for the 18 amp hour. It came with a nice array of tools, including some hexagon wrenches that I can actually use. The first thing we're gonna do is put this disc brake on this wheel so that we can install the wheel.
Say disc brake again.
On the We're not gonna see what was in this other box. So this is a cargo moped style bike, so I guess you can install this instead of this and have a rear rack. So to connect this headlight is kind of weird, so I figure I'll talk about it. So this wire with the blue end is what you need to connect, right? But the connector is under here. So we have a few issues with this bike. Number one, again, the panel was damaged, so we're gonna request a new panel. Number two, when I turn this bike on, I need my fob card here to turn it on, right? But look, this one doesn't work. And we didn't get a rear light here. So, you know, we got a few things that we have to reach out to have them send us. And so now we get to test out what the customer service is like. They sent me all of these parts and instructions. I would say it took like a week for things to get here. So the customer service seems good to me. Does that mean it's going to be good to you? Not necessarily. But my experience with customer service has been great. They gave me a rear light, so all I had to do was unscrew this that was on the light, put it through here and screw that in. They gave me a panel, and in order to install this panel, I basically had to take this grip off. I had to unscrew the brake here, unscrew it here, slide that off, and then I could slide the new panel on and then screw the panel on. This bike is kind of long for a moped style e-bike. It's about 5 feet 6 inches from wheel to wheel. The seat from the floor is about 2 feet 10 inches from the floor. The handlebar, which is kind of adjustable, where we have it at now, is like 3 feet 7 inches from the floor. And don't know what brand of tires these are. They did seem pretty grippy when we used them here recently, but not sure about the durability. So, you know, we'll see. But this is one of the few e-bikes that I've gotten that actually look like a moped. Say that because the body's kind of wide, right? But let me know what y'all think about the look of this e-bike. Look at that suspension. This suspension is pretty long, and I usually like coil suspension over like air suspension because I think it gives you like a little bit more rebound. Give y'all an idea of this rear suspension. We also have suspension in the motorcycle style front fork, and it looks like you can adjust the compression of your suspension. So we're gonna open up our suspension by turning it counterclockwise here. Give y'all an idea of this front suspension. Get a look at our rear and front 160 millimeter core ride hydraulic brakes. To me, a lot of these moped style e-bikes are only as good as the seat, because a lot of times the seats are not adjustable and you can't really replace them. So far, this seat seems pretty comfortable. And it's pretty long. It's longer than most moped style e-bikes. It's like 2 feet long here. And the widest point of this seat is like 8 inches wide. So we have 2 batteries. You can remove either battery. This bike doesn't use both batteries at the same time. You switch from one battery to the next. In order to do that, it's up under your seat. There's a button here. When you click it down, it goes to one battery. When you click it up, it uses the other battery. Both batteries do have a switch. You have to turn them on and off. Now it does look like we have a horn. We do have turning signals again. So if I click this button, that turns my turning signal on the front of the bike as well as the back of the bike. Let's turn that off. So now if I click this button, that turns my beefy headlight on and my rear light on. And that rear light is also a brake light. We have a standard Shimano 7-gear shifter. We have your more like hard rubbery standard grips here. They did need to send me the new cards because the cards I got work, but let me show you how to activate that card. So if originally your card doesn't work, you do have to install an app called SmartGoo. If you have an iPhone, you can easily download this app. If you have an Android though, you have to use the link in the description below to download this app. Now, I'm going to warn you, if you download this app on your Android, you will get some warnings that I guess this is not like a validated app, so download at your own risk. I downloaded it on my Android. I haven't had any issues with my phone since downloading it, but just a fair warning. But after you download this app, you click add device, you turn your bike on, even though the you can't get through this part of the screen just yet, but you turn your bike on and then you should be able to pair your bike. You click on that and then it's going to try to download information for your bike there. Let's click done at the top. And now you should be able to open your bike from this app, right? So let's slide that over. And there is another way you can get into your display if you don't have the card. I'm not going to tell y'all how to do it. It's a more manual way where you don't need the app. But if you want to know how to do that, comment below and I'll send you instructions on how to do it. But now that I can get into the bike, let's say I want to activate this card, what you're going to do is you're going to click on this button 9 times. Make sure after every click, your thumb is not on this green button. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then you're going to see this green icon start blinking. That means we can use that to try to activate our card. You heard that. Let's test it out. We're going to turn the bike off. Turn it back on. Let's see if we can use this card to activate. Yep. Do have a few other settings on here. We don't have a whole lot of advanced settings, but right now we can see our trip mileage. If I click this button 3 times, again, your thumb have to be off the green button every time. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3. Now that turns into my odometer. If you click this green button twice, it will change your speed calculation from miles per hour to kilometers. So I'm going to click it twice. 1, 2. And you see that went from miles per hour to kilometers. And the app does have more things that you can change, but I just want to show y'all how to use the app to unlock your bike in case the cards don't work. And we do have 5 different pedal assist modes. If you want to change your mode, then you click this green button just 1 time. And that's how you go through all of the modes, including how do you go from mode 5 back to mode 1. So right now the maximum speed is, looks like 28 miles per hour. But I think you can unlock that. If you turn this bike off and turn it back on, but within the first 5 seconds of turning the bike on, you're gonna click this brake lever 5 times. Kind of weird, right? So we're gonna turn this bike on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, looks like that went up to 32, 33, 34, 35. Okay, yeah, that worked. A rating of 1 through 10, what would you give the suspension? A 9. So you just changed your rating on this suspension. What rating do you give it now?
Might have to give it a 10.
It's a 10. Yo, I think that's only the 2nd bike you've ever given.
It just ate every off-road.
So, HAPPYRUN G70 moped style e-bike. What are your thoughts?
Good on the off-road. Great suspension. 10 out of 10 suspension, y'all.
10 out of 10.
Like,
okay.
I don't know, it feels like air. Like, it's just, I'm just hitting air. The seat is comfortable, yet me personally, like, the fact that it kind of elevates up, so it's hard for me to get on and off the bike.
How tall are you with shoes on?
5'6". What is this with shoes on?
Because that's the real height of you riding a bike.
Oh. The tires are good. I like the twist throttle. The turn, it hits the turns amazing. Like,
okay.
Very safe. The only thing that I don't like is the display. It looked real nice and colorful right here, right? Mm-hmm. You cannot see it in the daylight. I can't see the numbers. I can't see much at all. Brakes a little squeaky. Mm-hmm. But I guess that can be fixed. But all in all, it's a decent bike. I think I'm gonna give this like a 8.7. 8.7. Right.
We're not going to try out these all-terrain tires. And it's a pretty windy day, so I might be yelling a bit just so y'all can hear me. But we're gonna start out by going through some gravel, test out these tires. It's a little slipping. It's kind of grippy though, but it's a little slipping going on. Yeah, let's brake. Not too bad, just a little slipping. Because these tires are grippy enough, and because the seat is low to the floor, and because you have a wide handlebar, the combination of those things means you can lean into your turns on this bike, and the pedals are not too close to the floor either. Like, man, that feels better than most. We're not gonna go off-road with some hills.
test out the suspension, the front and the back suspension. I guess in the tires too. Now we go here. Damn. So far so good. So far this is up there. That suspension is impressive so far. Keep going. Oh man. All right. Well, I guess it's kind of wet out here too. It rained yesterday. Suspension is up there. For a moped style e-bike, this is definitely in my top 5. I feel the suspension in the back and the front and is making your usage of this bike very comfortable. Regarding comfort, the suspension on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it a 9. Go down this hill. Y'all can hear that. Maybe it might need some suspension lube or something. So I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on. Usually when the pedals are this close to the seat for a moped style e-bike, I would say my knees come way too high above my hip for me to like pedal comfortably. But with this seat, because you can scoot back so much because the seat is so long, my knees are still coming higher than I like usually, but it's not too bad. Like, but when you do scoot back, and I love this backrest, by the way, even though you have to kind of be careful if you have a book bag on with this backrest, right? But if you're all the way back on the seat, you're more towards the wider side of the seat. So, if you don't want to be scraping up against the seat while you're pedaling, you do have to widen your knees when you pedal. I don't like that either. I'd rather keep my knees kind of close together, but that does mean that your thigh is going to rub up against the seat a little bit. But because the seat is so comfortable, it doesn't really bother me. Like I've been on the bike for about an hour. Seat is really, really comfortable. I don't feel any type of discomfort with the seat. So good job. Because I can rotate my handlebar towards me, I don't have to reach over like that in order to ride this bike comfortably. I would also say this bike is pretty stable. Like it's not very shaky. Now it's not so stable I feel like I can ride without my hands on the handlebar, but so I think the pedal assist on this bike is a speed sensor. I say that because we're in mode 1 here. Try the pedal assist mode in mode 1. I say that because it doesn't feel like it takes into consideration how hard I'm pedaling. It's just trying to get you to that maximum speed, which is cool, but sometimes that means you can ghost pedal. To look like 10 miles per hour mode 1. I'm gonna show y'all what I mean. I'm gonna switch it to mode 3 here. I'm gonna go on mode 3 and show y'all what I'm talking about. So when the pedal assist kicks in, so I do feel like my pedal is being considered. Okay, mode 3 is not bad regarding the pedal assist. Okay, I don't feel like I can ghost pedal in mode 3, so that's good. Let's brake here. So it looks like I went up to 20 miles per hour in mode 3. But I think maybe if I switch it to mode 4, it take a little bit for that pedal assist to kick in, right? But mode 4 is a lot of pedal assist now, right? It's hard for me to keep up. And I can kind of ghost pedal here in mode 4. Like I'm going 27 miles per hour mode 4. Let's brake. I do like the brakes though. The brakes are really nice. We're now going to try max speed pedal assist. And again, I'm going to try to pedal at max speed, but because it's a speed sensor, I may not be able to keep up with the motor, you know what I mean? Because it's going to try to get me there and not consider my pedal. So all right, let's try to gun it. I can't keep up with the motor too much, so I'm ghost pedaling a bit. But we're at 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. All right, let's take 31. Probably could go faster if I can keep up with the motor, but so we're not going to try max speed, throttle only. Going to see how fast we go here. I did unlock the speed as much as I could. So we're up at 26. 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 33, 34, but I'm going down the hill. So I say 33 miles per hour max speed, throttle only. And while I'm in the street, I will say this is a great bike for the streets because you have such great full suspension. The bike is kind of heavy, so the wind is not going to sway you one way or another. But also because it looks like it's pretty fast, right? Go 34 miles per hour max speed, throttle only. So I think this is a great bike for the street. You got all the bells and whistles, turning signals, horns, headlight, rear light. But I also think this is a great bike for more urban areas. I say that because it's compact and the turns are very easy. Like you can maneuver this bike quite a bit. It is wide, but it's kind of compact, you know, so you can go through some pretty tight areas like this one without having to like get off the bike. Pretty tight walkways. I think you can avoid people and things a bit, even though this bike is a bit wide, because the turns are so easy to maneuver. So we're now about to test out the maximum speed, throttle only, up a hill. This is a pretty steep hill. I would say it's probably like a 35, 40 degree hill. And there's a turn on the hill. So we're gonna see how much speed we lose going up this hill. So going into the hill, looks like we're at 26 miles per hour. Okay. We're into the hill now. We're at 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16. All right, looks like we lost about 10 miles per hour. The standard is usually 8. Oh, HAPPYRUN G70. I think this is a decent moped style e-bike. What I liked the most about this e-bike was the suspension. Definitely, I would say top 6, top 5 suspension I've had on a moped style e-bike. It absorbed all of the bumps and everything like that. Very comfortable ride too. Very sturdy. The seat is also really comfortable, but because I'm 5'11", 6 feet with shoes on, I had to be all the way towards the back of this seat, which means, you know, this part here, which is the widest part of the seat, because I sat so far back, I had to kind of widen my knees a little bit to pedal the bike. Also like the speed, I was able to go over 32 miles per hour. And I like all the bells and whistles. I like that you need a card in order to turn your e-bike on. You have a headlight, rear light, turning signals. I do wish that they gave you more advanced settings on your display where you can change things like your pedal assist sensitivity, because in mode 4 and 5, I think this bike gives you way too much sensitivity in my opinion. And the battery life was just okay, even though you have 2 batteries. I went on a 20-mile bike ride. The first 10 miles, I used the first battery. And 4 of those miles, I went max speed pedal assist. 1 mile, I went max speed throttle only. The other 5 miles, I was in mode 3. And then I switched to the other battery. The other battery, I went 3 miles max speed pedal assist. The rest of the time I went mode 3 pedal assist. On both batteries, I lost 2 out of 5 battery bars. So I really lost 4 out of 10 battery bars. So to me, in that 20-mile bike ride, I think that's more like 50 miles of charge. So on a scale from 1 to 10, I would give this bike a 7.8. But comment below on what you'll give this bike on a scale from 1 to 10. Any other e-bike you want me to review, also comment below. Thank y'all for watching. Peace.